Hi, I'm Yanni for Hola Prime, and I'm joined today by Shivanand, who won the third position in the Showdown competition. So, Shivanand, congratulations, first of all.
Thanks very much. Actually, very happy to be here based on the research I did on the company. So I'm really proud to be here.
Right, well, great stuff. Like, tell me, how does it feel to win something? I've never won anything in my life.
Really, really great, especially trading wise. I've been trading for the past 5 years. So it feels really nice to actually win a prize, basically.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I won't know the feeling, but I can imagine. You just mentioned that you started trading 5 years ago. So how did you get into trading? Like how did that happen? Was it something on YouTube or how did you get into trading?
Well, actually, I am, well, based on my job, I'm a police officer. So with the
Oh,
pandemic, it we usually does like little extra work. We call it extra duty. So with the pandemic, everything basically shut down, the entire world shut down. So I was looking for a little extra income. So I actually went on YouTube and simply typed in how to make money online. And I came across different things like Shopify, whatever the case is. And I came across trading. And I started doing research. And the algorithm will keep throwing videos and whatever. So I started doing research. I eventually I would have to say I tried trading courses and whatever the case is, but I did actually paid for a course and the company shut a couple months after, and then I decided, I'll try it on my own. I will try research on my own. So I went through all the different videos. YouTube have a lot of videos, so you have to pick and choose exactly which one you need to understand. And I basically tried it on my own, and 5 years after, I would say I am somewhat profitable.
yeah, that's very interesting because I mean, you just mentioned like, you did some research and did you mention some courses as well? So you've done some courses?
Yeah, I did actually take it. However, in the course itself, like the MLM companies, they don't actually teach about trading itself, more of the multi-level marketing stuff. And I was interested in the trading, exactly how to do trading, whatever the case is. So there was actually one instructor within the whole entire class, and I did get some little I should say insight into the trading itself. However, I have a certain mindset that I need to see exactly to be able to understand on trading. And
Mm.
if I don't do for myself, I would not understand. So I decided, what, I have to learn about it. Someone can teach me exactly how to learn. So I decided to try it on my own. And the first 2 years, as most traders, you try, you fail, you try, you fail. And I was actually profitable for the first time in 2023. I basically forced myself to be profitable. Yeah, my wife and daughter left the country, and I was home alone. And I promised my daughter that I will make money from forex to actually come and visit her. She was in Guyana, and I actually remember purchasing account with a prop firm. I paid $89 for it. It was a live account, and from the $89, I was actually be able to take out $2,300 within 1 month.
That's a nice return,
From
huh?
right, but I made a promise to my daughter, so I put myself against the wall, and I have to make it no matter what. I have to make it. So in literally in 1 month, I actually made 2,800 US, and it was so I was telling myself I need to do something to remember this profit here. I went straight to the airport and I purchased a ticket one time because I saying from trading money, I need to prove to myself that the benefits from trading, I can be able to travel the world. That is the intention eventually. And for the first time in my life, I actually went on a plane using money from forex trading,
Wow.
and that was it. I decided this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Even though I'm presently a police officer, I'm doing trading on my day off and on my spare time. But eventually, that is the intentions. I'll be able to do forex trading full time. But I will always advise anyone: don't actually leave your job until you're actually profitable in trading. keep your stable job so that you're able to fund your trading journey.
Mm.
But most traders, they want to be profitable instantly. So they will leave the job and come full time. And, you will be in problems. You need to have your bills taken care of, and trading should be a sideline so that you'll be able to focus 100% on the trading. Then, you have your bills taken care of, and then you have your trading side one side. So you have no stress, no worries with your trading. Because I mostly focus on swing trading. Based on how I am working my job, I do have the time 100% to be on the charts. So I would actually be focusing on swing trading, like monthly time frame, weekly time frame, daily time frames.
Mm.
So most traders, they would look for the setups on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 50 minutes. I mostly focus from the monthly coming down. My lowest time frame would most likely be the 1 hour time frame. That is from entry. I don't go lower down because the different candles will kind of confuse you. When you see your setup basically on the monthly time frame, if the monthly time frame is bearish, right, all the other time frames would be bearish, right? And you just had your working strategy coming down.
Mm.
I actually I'm a big fan of swing trading itself. Swing trading is the way for me. Right now, I'm actually monitoring gold. I'm expecting gold after NFP on Friday to be bullish. So I actually monitoring right now. So I look into a
Yeah.
nice setup.
Sorry, that's I mean, you've already answered a lot of questions I was going to ask you, like how do you trade and so on, but you've just mentioned swing trading. I also agree with that. Okay, I do believe that focusing on longer time frames is more stable. Is stable the right word? Maybe not stable, but definitely levels and patterns and etc. are more respected on longer time frames compared to the shorter time frames. So, and yeah, I was going to ask you, like, you have a full-time job. How do you trade? Do you just trade 1 hour in the morning and the evening? But if you're a swing trader, then you have plenty of time to pick your entries, and you don't even have to be 100% accurate because it's such a longer time frame. So it's not like you have to have pinpoint accuracy. So that makes total sense. But I was going to ask you, I mean, you've mentioned you've been trading for 5 years, and then the first 2 years it was you struggled. What was the um, what was the turning point for you? Because a lot of traders struggle for years, and they just never get that turning point for them. They just struggle, and they hop from one thing to the next thing, or switching time frames, switching strategies, switching from one course to the next one. It's like, but you seem to have figured it out pretty soon. 2 years is not bad, my friend. That's impressive. That's really impressive. So, like, what was your turning point, or the moment you realized, you know what, this is what I need to do? What was the moment where the penny dropped for you, if I can put it like that?
All right. I would say, well, as I mentioned with my daughter, I was home alone and I made a promise to my daughter. So, I had a purpose basically. I need to force myself to actually be profitable so that I'll be able to see my daughter. Even though I would be seeing her, but I made a promise. So I actually come to the charts. It might seem weird, but I put myself in a position that I am in front of my computer and there's nothing else around me. Total darkness, I'm only seeing the computer alone. So I need to focus 100% on what I'm seeing here. Now, with a lot of videos I've been watching, I mean, everyone has their own trading strategy, right? But my strategy, I would say, is that I look at the levels and the cycles. A lot of traders don't know about it, but I when I am studying, I look at the charts. How I think it like this: I look at it in a most traders would sit in front of the computer and they would look for a trading setup daily, right? I look at it. I pretend that I am a fund manager, right? So they gave me 300 million, and I am looking for a setup. I'm not going to the 1 minute or the 15 minutes to look for a setup because I'm trying to make $100 million. So I am looking in a professional mindset, looking for a proper setup. So I'm looking at the complete levels. So when I go to the 1 month time frame, one candle will actually take an entire month to finish. But within that 1 month candle, there is three levels have to be completed. Three weekly
Mm.
levels have to be completed for that 1 monthly candle. So I would go down to the weekly and see if this three levels is completed. So if I go and I actually see like the first level is completed, I know the second level is to be completed and then the third one. But once one level is completed, there will be a retracement. So that is where I will hold my hand and wait for the retracement to come until my normal entry point, and then I will go. So it's a lot of waiting for me, but the setup that I am getting is very high quality setup because I'm actually waiting for to come back. I'm not actually entering like market execution. I am setting my and I'm waiting for it to come to me. Once it reaches a level, I will put a buy stop. So I'm not actually market executing. So it could do, especially well, my main thing is gold, right? I actually trade in gold for the past all these years. I actually trade in gold. I actually know how gold moves. That's how I'm monitoring it right now. And I could guarantee with 100% accuracy that gold will be bullish next week. Because of the levels, I know the levels have to be completed. Because right now I am monitoring on my computer here, right? I am actually on the daily time frame on my computer. And the first level is completed, second level is completed. And right now they are creating to go up on the third level.
What is your what is the, sorry to interrupt you. So what's the level you're looking at? Is it perhaps 3166, something around there?
No, it's how, let's see how I could explain this levels. All right, most traders would actually work with whatever they are seeing on YouTube, like how to say it, support resistance. But for me, I look at on TradingView, there's the option to see up to the 12-month time frame. So I'm actually back testing gold from since 1856.
Wow.
Which is one thing. So I'm actually looking at the levels
I was very young back then. I was very young. 1850s.
So I'm actually looking at the levels itself. And from, I like to put myself in this way, right? Let's say, let's use New York City, for example, right? You're driving through New York City in a vehicle. Your sight would only be a couple of cars in front of you, a couple of cars and then the buildings on the side. You cannot get a proper view. But you send up a drone, you get to see a whole wide. So I like to go on the highest time frame possible and see the entire view. So you could actually see where market was, how it's going, and you get to see a proper view. So I consider when I'm trading, I'm setting up my drone. I need to see the entire environment and see exactly what happened. So I just actually go to the 12-month time frame and come down. Each level, three cycles need to be completed for one level. So like let's say on the daily time frame, once you go on the daily time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, you need to have 3 levels completed for one candle to be completed. And a lot of traders don't know it. Right? Because the information is not out there, and what is it? It is very interesting that I could actually, I can sit together with another trader and I will actually put a blank chart. I don't have no indicators on my chart. I don't use indicators. The only thing I use is just box to set my levels. So if I see level 1, level 2, level 3, and it is very highly accurate because once you know level 1 is finished, you know you have 2 levels still to be completed. So if you know level 1 is completed, you shouldn't be entering a buy still. You need to wait until you get a retracement and then you enter the buy. Once the second level is completed, there will be a bigger retracement. And this has been happening for the past 5 years. I've been trading gold, and it has never failed. Never failed. Oh. And I'm still monitoring all the trades. Even this big bullish trend with gold actually started in 2001. If anyone wants to check back, 2001, you will see actually where it started. Exactly 2001, and it is still bullish. Now I'm expecting it to reach up to at least 3,000, at least 4,700, 4,750, and then we'll get a nice big retracement. Now, what I've noticed also, right? Everyone actually expects the market to, like January month, you would expect a nice big trend. The trend actually happens for the next year in October, 3 months before the new year. Now, the traders don't. If you go back to gold and you actually do the back testing, check on October every year, and you will see most of the trend actually start from the October candle and then continue. Now, on TradingView also, there's an option for the 3 months. There's different quarters. So you look at the 3 months. So that's the last 3 months of the year. So if you actually enter a trade in October month, you can actually hold a swing trade. You can actually hold it for the entire year. Wow. In December month now, there's actually only 1 week, and the rest would just be fake out for the rest of the year. But once you catch the trade in October month, you can hold for October, November, and then you don't need to trade off November. Swing trading, I would always advise swing trading. Even if you're not working, it takes a lot of stress away. You don't have to be on the charts. You set, for example, let's say you see a weekly setup, and you actually enter in your weekly setup. You don't have to study not know the chart for a couple of days. You can, you could come and monitor and you pull. So, all right. So let me, for traders, I would give them advice. You see, like the May month just started. What I would advise, take a horizontal line and place it exactly where the market opens. Take a measuring tool and measure 100 pips above. Within that 100 pips, you go down to the daily time frame and you look for your setup and look for the railroad track. Once you find the railroad track, for example, if you're going, right now gold is actually bullish, right? So once you monitor it and you come down, you're looking for the setup to happen on the daily time frame. You're looking for a railroad track on the daily time frame. Once you see it and you enter it, there is no need to enter again for the rest of the month, because that is the low of the month in the first place, and it is under the opening price. So if the opening price is here, you're looking for your setup on it. You can try to get your setup here. Once you get your setup here, and the market has moved, it is not going to come back here because under the opening price. So once you get set up under the opening price, you get the railroad track under the opening price, and you put your stop loss. Once it moves apart, you bring your stop loss to break even and leave the trade for the run for the entire month. Very
Yeah,
nice, very simple.
yeah, that's very, very good. And thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's really, really valuable. But the other question I was going to ask you, like when you swing trade, do you have a specific target, or do you have is there a timeline where you will go, okay, this trade is taking too long to get to my take profit. I'm not going to stay in this for too long. Or do you just leave it open and wait for that level to get hit? Or how do you approach that?
Right. So in terms of, like, very good question. So what gold actually respects the quarter theory levels very well. So what I would do, I'll put a horizontal line and put it at 3,000. Put the next horizontal line at 4,000. It is 1,000 pips. And then each one, 3,250, 3,500, 3,750. Each one is quarters.
Yeah.
So I would actually take a quarter and I would actually wait for the retracement. Sometimes it would go, it have 4 quarters in the 1,000. So I would actually go to 1 quarter and I would take that off the table. So, whilst I'm taking. Then I'll wait for the retracement and I'll enter our next entry. I'll take it to the other quarter and I'll take. Because most of it gold, for all my years of trading gold, I would have to say gold actually, once gold is moving, it has to finish at level and will continue going for its level. So if it started at 3,000, it will go to 4,000, no matter what. It will play around in between, but it will go to 4,000, which is where if you get your perfect entry at 3,000, there's no need to exit the trade. That is where you would actually take partials, you would enter back, but you're never exiting the trade at the 3,000 level because it will go to 4,000. That is one thing I like about gold. Once it actually moves, it is moving and will have to complete the level. So gold for one level, usually 1,000 to 1,500 pips for one level to be completed. Usually. But you 100% guaranteed short to make within 200, 500, 750 pips with a normal setup. But as I say, like how the month now started, perfect. But you see NFP coming now, so it makes no sense entering right now because NFP will strike back on. You see when NFP hit the lows again, that is when you enter. And a lot of persons don't know how to trade NFP. NFP exactly, you have to watch the exact spot where NFP strike, especially with gold. So example, if this is 8:30 a.m., all right, so NFP starts to send a wick below. You shouldn't even try to come underneath here. Right exactly where it started, you put your buy stop right here. You could do whatever they want below here, but it will rise. But you put your entry exactly where where it started, and you basically, when it actually ready to shoot up, you have no drawdown, no anything, very straight profit. And gold, I will always back gold. Gold works really nice, and it really respects the quarterly levels. So a lot of traders who trade in gold, they could probably vouch for it, or if they don't know about it, they could always set it up. But in terms of indicators and, I should say, support and resistance. I know a lot of traders, I would not bash any, but this is my style. I look at the levels and it has been very accurate for the past couple of years. With all my back testing, it has been very, 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 very accurate.
Wow. Well, that's definitely very interesting. I was going to ask you, like, obviously gold rallied massively since the beginning of the year because of the uncertainty in the market and so on. So this quarter, like say 1,000 pips, and you talked about four different quarters, the 250 pips at a time. Did you find sometimes because of that really strong bullish move that when you take your profits off at the 250 level, it just shot straight through to the next level and then shot straight through to the next level and just didn't give you that pullback? Did you find that, especially during that very strong bull run, or did your plan still kind of work out for you? Or so basically, another just to add to that question is, if you see the prices aggressively trading to that level, do you leave it open or would you always take it off and wait for that pullback? If that makes sense.
As I mentioned before, gold, I know actually gold for level to be competed is between 1,000 to 1,500 pips. So let's say I am actually entered at the 3,000 level. I'm just using a random number. Let's say I enter at 3,000 level. And I'm actually seeing, because let's say I entered my position on the daily time frame. I would actually move away from the daily time frame, come down to the 4 hour. But I'm not actually only monitoring. I'm not actually going to enter anything that's monitoring. And if I see the potential, because usually on the forward time frame, you have to see 3 levels to be completed for the one daily level. So once I see the 3 levels completed, even if it is before the 250, I would not enter. If it's after the 250 and the level is not completed, I would leave it because I need to see the 3 of them completed. So let's say the trade started at 3,000 and it's after the 3 at the first quarter. Right, it's actually at the first quarter, but only the second level is completed. I would not exit because I know the third level is still to be completed. And my entry is way below only 3,000.
Okay.
So usually once gold rises to this, at least 100 to 200 pips, it usually do not come back to the entry point. Once it is in a bullish momentum, which is why the monthly time frame is very important. Or even as I use the 12-month time frame. So I know for the rest of the year, gold will be bullish. So my setups only end prices buys, but gold has a tendency of plenty fake outs, right? But usually the fake outs happens after the level is completed. So a lot of persons, they don't know about the levels, so they will actually get a lot of accounts lost, I should say. But right now, presently, gold is on the 323 level, right?
Yeah.
This is actually the retracement from the second level. This whole bearish movement we've seen right now is actually the completion of the second level. So this is the retracement I'm talking about. And the retracement will continue until NFP. NFP will give us a strike down again, and then we're going to expect the third level to be completed. When the third level is be completed, we'll expect a next retracement. So once this third level, like let's say next week, we see a bullish behavior on gold. I'm not actually going to hold it. I'm holding it until this level is completed and I'm exiting.
Okay.
Because I know we have big retracement.
Yeah, like I mean, I also see. Obviously, I approach the markets different than you do, but say on the daily time frame, you can see that it's busy approaching a support level at around 3,160, around that level, 3,160, around that level, and then I would wait for price to kind of reject from that level back to the upside, and that would be my bullish signal.
You're probably watching your charts right now.
Yeah.
Right, and you're looking at the daily time frame. You will see three very long green candles, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Right. On the very top of the third candle, right? That is where the first level was completed.
Okay.
And you see the little.
Yeah, and then a little, you get a little pullback, and then it just shot up a second time, and another little pullback, and then went up a third time.
The first level is completed, and then there's 1, 2, and the retracement, and then the third level has to be completed. So that is how I just check levels. So only one level here right now is completed, and 1, 2, we still need the third level. So I could vouch for it 1,000% accuracy that that third level has to be completed. 100% have to be completed. But have to wait until the retracement. That is why you don't enter. The best option is a buy stop. So let the markets do whatever it wants to do, but when it's ready to roll, you're
Yeah.
good to go. But it 100% guaranteed sure, it has to be completed. That third level has to be completed. So persons might see this and they would then would say, NFP would drop the market because gold is actually rallying, gold is actually bullish, and NFP is not going to drop it. NFP have to rise because the third level has to be completed. And I'll prove my point. NFP could bring the market down, but it has to go because NFP actually goes the opposite direction of the market direction. If the market has to go bullish, NFP will send it down, and then it will rally up. But that is what a lot of traders have to remember. Exactly where NFP drop the market, that is where entry goes. It doesn't matter how far it goes, 100 pips, 200 pips. That doesn't matter to you. You actually enter in exactly where it actually dropped. You put your buy stop. But a lot of traders, you see market dropping, right? I want to enter one end and they shoot back up and you lose everything.
Yeah.
You enter exactly where the spike happened and free flowing.
Yeah, I think a lot of traders just struggle to get clear on exactly what they're supposed to look at and what they're supposed to look for. I think that's the name of the game, right? Like what do you wait for? Where do you enter? And that sort of thing. So no, but it's honestly, and I really mean this. It is impressive that you've managed to do that in 2 years. It took me a lot longer than that, a lot longer. So
How was that for you?
definitely great respect to you for that. Um, yeah. So Shivanand, I just quickly wanted to ask you, like, how did you come across Hola Prime? Was it just on YouTube, or do you belong to some chat groups, or how did you come across them?
Honestly, I've been researching about prop firms since in my forex one days, because initially from my salary every month I would take money from my salary and put it to my broken account, right? And I would actually lose all the time. As you know, son, you want to make money instantly, so I would actually always lose my account. So I started doing research on companies that would actually give me money to trade for them.
Mm.
And else doing the research, prop firm came up and I discovered FPMO and then my forex on back then. And I started doing research on different prop firms. So I'm always researching on different prop firms
Mm.
to see the new ones and the conditions. Now, the reason why I was actually interested in Hola, right? You actually see, yeah, you will actually see everyone who is responsible for Hola Prime. I actually saw an interview with the CEO itself, and I love the transparency. So I know even if I trade and I'm very profitable, I know who the owner is. I know exactly. I'm seeing exactly on the site itself right now. You can see there's a banner. You see everyone, the instructors, the educators, everyone. So you're actually seeing it's not like something behind the screen and you're not sure exactly who is the owner. Everything is transparent. And that is
Mm.
something because as I mentioned, I want to do trading for the rest of my life basically. And for me, Hola Prime looks very, very transparent and trustworthy. Seeing that for a CEO to actually sit down in front of a camera and actually speak about his company, I have utmost respect for that. Because you are so confident in your company that you are willing to speak in front of a camera to the entire world. I have utmost respect for that. And I did a lot of research. I read everything, especially balance, space, drawdown. Perfect for me for swing trading. So it
Yeah.
everything I like about trading. And then the 1 hour payment. So everything. I really like the setup of um, and there's a little bit of everything. There's instant funding, there's one step, two step, so a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's
And
right. That's
what
choices.
I admired also, there's the option for the weekly, monthly. So you have a different choice. You either want a lot of profits or you want a small amount. You want fast profits, you want so it have everything that I want in one package, basically. So
Well, awesome.
I'm
And
actually
and just in a nutshell, just quickly, is what has your experience been like dealing with a company, like everything, like the customer support, the payouts. What's your general kind of feedback on when it comes to what's really important about a prop firm?
honestly, I would have to say support. I would have this support because there are some. I have been dealing with a lot of prop firms, a lot of prop firms, and number one thing I would have to say is support. You see, at the end of the day, if traders having issues and there's not the support, you actually click on the chat box and you would like to speak to someone, you're not getting through. What I like with Hola, as I click, literally in a couple seconds, someone is here. This is really, really nice.
Yeah.
And the obviously payments, right? You need to be trustworthy in terms of payments. And let's say I have a payment of $2,000 to buy. I actually, let's say on a Friday, I request my payout. A week pass, 2 weeks pass, 3 weeks pass, it's not on my account. It actually, it actually depressing because you made your profits and then you actually have to beg for your profits. It did demoralize you as a trader. So
For sure.
with Solar, with the 1 hour payment, right? It is nice. It gives inspiration. You're doing the hard work on the screen and you are being paid in a timely manner. That is actually most important for me. Customer service and timely payments, and I'm good.
Awesome. Well, Shivanand, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview today. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you, and congratulations again on getting that third position in the showdown. But yeah, and all the best with your trading in the future, and hopefully, I'm sure we will build a very strong and lasting relationship going forward.
As I would actually say, I have been looking at trading podcast for the past 5 years, and I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. In case I didn't introduce myself, from Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean. And I'm actually the first one I've noticed it from all the trading podcasts. I've been watching years of podcasts, and I'm actually the first one from Trinidad and Tobago and also the Caribbean to be trading, I should say, at a big level. So big up to the Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago.
Awesome. All right, Shivani, well, thank you very much again. I just want to thank you again. But have a great day and good luck with the rest of your trading career. May there be many more profitable years for you ahead. But thank you again, and yeah, have a great day.
Thanks very much.